What's up, everybody? Brandon Kibler here with Traveler's Kitchen and Spirits, the unofficial sponsor of Traveler's Whiskey by Chris Stapleton. We're not here to talk about Traveler's Whiskey today, but we'll tuck him over right there. We're here to talk about, in my opinion, one of the more underrated brands within the bourbon market, being 1792, coming out of Barton. 1792, and fun fact, I said this in the last video, 1792 gets its name from when Kentucky became a state within the United States. Fun fact, trivia night for you. But one of the specific products I want to talk about, which again is not spoken about as much as I think it should be, and that's 1792 sweet wheat. 1792 small batch, 1792 in general, is a high rye mash bill, and what, from my understanding, what they've done, correct me if I'm wrong, from what they've done is they replaced the rye in the mash with wheat to create sweet wheat. This is one of my absolute favorite products when it comes out. It is allocated, it does come out once a year, depending on what market you may be in, but price-wise, I've seen it anywhere from, low 40s to some stores for some reason charging, $100 more. Your price, how you decide to spend, is up to you. But again, one of my favorites. We're gonna do a little side-by-side comparison between the small batch. Again, 1792 is a high rye mash bill, and then there's sweet wheat. Now, there's a lot of wheat bourbons on the market. There are, you have Larceny's, you got Makers, you obviously have Weller's. There's the Ben Holiday that's coming out. There's a lot of them coming out, but this sweet wheat, it just hits differently. Like it, not to really speed up the video for you, but it hits sweet wheat to a T. So with it, it becomes more velvety, more smooth, more lighter on the palate. I'll shut up, we'll get to tasting. So in this hand, your left, my right, we got 1792 small batch, which was what we did in the last video when we were trying to figure out, which we will do other videos on, we were trying to figure out what's in the Traveler's blend. So we are working on not swirling. Proud of myself, haven't done it in about a week. Sound like an AA meeting. Hi, my name's Brandon, former swirler, no longer swirl. Small batch is one of the best ones when it comes down to dollar for dollar. 1790 small batch, you can't beat it. Beautiful nose. I get raspberries. There's a little bit of ethanol in the finish, which is expected. But you do get those baking notes, right? And with the sweet wheat, you almost lose those baking notes. But let's take a moment to appreciate the 1792 small batch, because damn, that finish is good. It's going, and the flavor, it almost cuts off. Like the finish is there, strong, and almost just dips right out. So we'll get to the sweet wheat. Again, when it comes down to it, in my opinion, when it comes down to wheaters, this needs to be spoken about more. On the nose, I almost get, this is not obnoxious, but that's how we do it on YouTube. I get more of like when you open up a fresh box of Honey Nut Cheerios, that fresh, that sweet note just comes right across. And it's almost obnoxious that they named it sweet wheat. They could have just named it 1792 wheat. But to name it sweet wheat, it just screams, it's idiot proof. I bet there's someone that passed that before though. And was like, can't be that sweet. It's whiskey, it's bourbon. Damn, it's sweet though. All right. Yeah, on the nose, I get heavy, that when you open up a fresh box of Honey Nut Cheerios, can't get past that. You also get some of the citrus notes. Get almost like an orange, but like right when you cut it, that fresh orange right there, but not the zest. And the mouthfeel, again, when you remove the rye, you're removing those baking notes. So the mouthfeel is so much more, like, it's smoother, it's more velvety. There's like, it's like it layers your mouth completely differently. It's almost more of a, there's a prettiness to this versus, 1782 small batch. It's more of, like, it is what it is. It is a great bourbon, dollar for dollar, best buy. You're getting it. It is what it is, right? This one is more, you're going to introduce this. You're going to show this one a little bit more love. You're going to show this one a little bit more appreciation. The mouthfeel is just so nice, smooth. I hate describing whiskey like that. The nose, you just get some, I can't get away from the Honey Nut Cheerios. There's so much more, but once you get stuck on some things, when you're drinking with somebody and they will say something before you can announce it and then it's just stuck on your head. I do that to myself sometimes. Like the minute I'm stuck on one, it's hard to go past that. Surprisingly, I believe the proof on this, looking at 91.2, which is oddly specific. This one's 93.7. The sweet wheat does, for such a low proof, it does give a little bit of bite, which is, in my opinion, a little bit surprising. But it just has so much going on versus some of the other ones when you're looking at 90, it's a little bit less. It's not as much going on, which, I could name off tons of 90 proofers that are delicious and unbelievable. But for me, the good spot, the sweet spot, is, getting into that hundreds. I do like my high proofers. I'm kind of a high proof whore when it comes to that. But if you ever see 1792 sweet wheat, in my opinion, the price doesn't matter. Whatever your price is, if you feel comfortable, you buy it. You should buy 1792 sweet wheat. It is one of the ones that, for, again, underrated brand, it is delicious. People spend hours waiting in lines for some of the other bourbons that I mentioned. This one, I know in some states when it's more regulated for the allocation process, maybe people do jump at this a little bit more, maybe it's spoken about more. Out here in Southern California, it's more like this brand in general seems to be more like the bourbon drinkers bourbon. But again, if you ever see 1792 sweet wheat, definitely go grab it. Go grab one, go grab two, go grab three, finish one and grab another. It's definitely one that when I see it, I grab it. Definitely one of my favorite ones. So anyways, didn't it suck watching the Ravens and Chiefs game? It sucks as a Bills fan knowing for the past few years the best playoff game is always going to be the game that has the Bills, and it sucks that we lose. It sucks that we lose on it because the Bills-Chiefs game was the best playoff game. The Ravens got their ass handed to them. The Bills game and Chiefs game, that was the AFC Championship game in my opinion, and it really sucked. Anyways, I told you guys, we're going to find some way to force the Bills on every single video. At some point, I'm going to mess that up. But cheers to you, cheers to me, cheers to a great Super Bowl. There you guys.